Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here today on the channel as we're back here for some more Austin FC Manager Career Mode. This is Rooted in Austin, episode number 2. As is, of course, if you're not familiar with Rooted in Austin, this is our front office show as we talk about what's going on, some of my thoughts and ideas, and at least game plans that I want to have for the upcoming season ahead of us. As right now we're with got a 4-point lead right now. I think the best team in MLS, as in 11 matches we are 9-1-1. Ooh, emergency. Anyway, we got 28 points in first place. Of course, Seattle and Portland are right behind us there, and there you see the rest of the Western Conference. There you see the numbers there, and of course we'll check out some of the Eastern Conference numbers here in just a bit. But as we're taking a look, looking at the standings here, I feel like we're playing like a good team. We're playing. There's times we play like an expansion team, and there's other times I feel like we play as a team that that could be a playoff team. I think with the simulations that we'll have coming up here pretty soon, we'll probably drop some points from time to time, and of course we'll probably drop some in the in the standings. But I just hope that we're in one of the top 7 teams that goes in the playoffs. And if we happen to be the 7th place team and we get into the playoffs, I'm hoping that we can just take the playoffs by storm and just do some crazy things, just kind of shock the world as an expansion team, taking over and not really rolling over and just saying, oh yeah, we're just an expansion team. There's always next year that we can do it. Let's do it now. Let's strike the iron while it's hot and let's get something done. So we take a look here at some of the player stats there. Of course, Dajet, one of the top players right now, as he's got both goals scored and assists. So he's been doing very well for us. But yeah, I think the team as a whole is doing great. I think we made some pretty good moves. We haven't really made moves yet in the transfer window, because the transfer window recently just opened up after that game that we just seen, the last game there in the previous episode, and they're in 9 when we just finished up with Portland. So the transfer window is open. We're looking at possibly moving some players around. We got a few players already moved as is, because we made some deals before the transfer window. And a lot of those players are going to be some of the youth academy players that they have talent. They're going to be ready to play by next season. So with a year on loan, they can go somewhere else, play, and get that experience that they need to potentially be in MLS play, which is not much. A low 60s to an upper to a 70. I kind of want them somewhere around that mid 70 mark, so around that 73, 74 overall, and they'll definitely be chef's kiss. They'll be ready to go and ready to play. So that's what we're looking at for those players that we do have moved on. We'll show you some of those players that have moved on to greener pastures, at least for the time being, not fully gone. But we're also looking at some players that we could possibly, some veteran players here on the team that we probably can get rid of, because how deep our certain players are on the depth chart, how much depth we have for players like that. So there are some older players. I think I said in the last episode, I was talking about Jimenez being one of those, Hector Jimenez being one of those players, because he is either 30 or 31. So and then of course they made their voices very very known in the last episode as well. Got some emails to the skipper, and they were saying like, hey, that sucks that you want to get rid of us, but they kind of understand. They're willing to move on if they have to, if they get picked up or something like that. So which is nice. Which at the same time they can always deny. They can always say no, I don't want to go. I want to stay here. And if they do that, that's fine. If they don't, and they decide they want to go, like, hey, yeah, that's perfect idea, and they find out the team that can meet their needs, more power to them. So I'm not gonna keep a guy around because I've learned my lesson on those from past manager career modes in this particular game, because that kind of bites you in the butt, and then you got a bunch of young players that are upset because they don't get a chance to play, and they are star. They have that potential of being just like a star player for you, and then they want to venture off and they demand to be sold off to somewhere else. But here's some of the players. Some of these players you're seeing right now, you're some of the Wolves players that I know for sure in my Wolves Wolves manager career mode. That's also here on the channel. Definitely check it out. It's one of my first Premier League teams I've coached. But yeah, we're just going through here, and oh wow, look at this, Joseph Martinez from Atlanta, which Atlanta's not playing very good right now, and this is probably a good reason. He's out. He's leaving. He is going to Germany, and he's going to be in the Bundesliga. So yeah, that's a shocker right there. When I seen that, I'm like, wow. But he is 28 years of age. Wow, I thought he was younger than that. So he's ready to move on. He's going to make some big time money. What is it? 23.2 pounds or 22? Well, I have it in dollars, but $23.2 million on that transfer there. So some pretty, and there's of course some other names here. This is the one I'm liking right now. Ruiz. He is going from Seattle to Manchester City. He's going to be playing for Man City over there. So we won't have to worry about him playing in Seattle no more. Thank goodness, because I ain't gonna lie, he got on my damn nerves those last two games we had against those the Sounders there. So, but just because he's gone does not mean that it's a clean, just a straight up, we're gonna go in there and beat them. Because the Sounders they know how to produce players off that team. Jordan Morris and several others there. I don't want to call him Matt. For some reason, I had Matt Jordan or Matt Morris in there, but anyway, there you see some of the players that we've let go. Either we just sold them off, or most of them, like I said, are pretty much on loan. 16, 17-year-olds that we picked up, and we're putting them on loan. So that is going to be nice. They're going to get that, like I said, they get that experience, get that playing time, and be able to do hopefully some great things over there, and take that knowledge and the experience they get, bring it back over to here in the States in the year's time, and be ready to play in the Premier, or here. Why did I keep wanting to say Premier League, in the MLS? I've been playing way too much Premier League soccer on here on FIFA with my Manchester United, Manchester U series. But anyway, take a look here. We got some players, we got some contract coming up here, and then we got some, and of course we got to make some tough decisions here in the next 4 months. Stover, I think we're gonna probably re-sign him, even though he is 28. Andrew here, he's questionable. Like I said, if we can find some goalkeepers, that's why I have my guys out right now looking for goalkeepers. If you remember, if you guys watched the last episode, I said that we found 3 freaking Americans that were 90 over 9, like their potential was like 90 plus overall. And I, for whatever reason, was trying to sign them, thinking, why can I not sign them? Well, found to be I had too many players on my youth academy, and I needed to get rid of some of the players. So I was just doing that, and then when I went back, they were gone. So I was like, oh, I forgot about that. You can't, you gotta, because I think it was because we were having the scouts there for 3 months. This was the 3rd month, the final month. So once you look at them, if you don't sign them, they go away. So I'm thinking, like, I should have learned my lesson about that, because I've done that before. But apparently I have not learned that lesson. So I have now the scouts going out to look for goalkeepers here for our series. So we got that going for us. Damn, I was like, man, we have 3 homegrown players that we could have here from the States, and so I want to also I want to know from you guys, what are some countries that you think I should go look at for goalkeepers? I've been trying to go online to see if there's anything like because I know there's certain areas that you find certain players like strikers and wingers, stuff like that. But is there anywhere you think you can find? Is there a country in particular that produce really good goalkeepers? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'd really like to know because I'm looking for goalkeepers for this series, for this MLS series. You see Danny there. He is a player that we're also thinking about getting rid of as well. You know, like I said, we got 4 months left. His potential, his overall is not that high. I think he's like his potential, his ceiling is at around about 75. So we definitely can move him. You know, he's 30 years of age. There's not much progression that's going to happen with him for too much. John Gallagher, he's 25. He still has a couple more years so he can, be able to be productive for us before he starts regressing. But he's also one of those players that could possibly be gone and re-released this season as well. And of course, when I say all this, things can happen, things can change. They could be playing really well and might convince me to change my mind and let them stay on the team. And then vice versa on the other end of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, 4 months, we're gonna let that contract go and just let you go bye-bye. But for right now, I'm going to have everybody try my best to honor everyone's contract. I'm not going to let anybody go unless we decide to put them, like I said, in the trade window and let them, venture out there if they happen to, are sexy enough to get picked up by another team. And when another team needs a veteran type player like them to make a presence on the team. But yeah, like I said, the window is one of those tricky things because you figure, okay, I might need this, and then you put fillers out there, but you may not necessarily get anything back. But it would be nice to get some feedback from some players. We have a short list. It's a pretty good short list that we have players on there, and I am looking at that short list, particularly looking at left back, or looking at any kind of back position, left, center, and right. I think our midfield is spectacular. There could be some improvements in that area, but for the most part here, I think we're doing well. We are converting a lot of our CDMs that we have right now into CMs. So a lot of the central defensive mids are going to be converted to like center mids. I think there's one or two in particular that are CDMs that could be converted to cams. So we're going to look at that too, because that's what we need for that position, because we don't need CDMs for this formation in particular. But I do have one formation on here as a kind of like a defensive formation for teams, which I think we might end up using against Seattle here. You might see it in the upcoming episode that we're going to be playing against Seattle and Kansas City, and that might be one that I'm thinking about testing out and seeing if that is going to be viable for us. But there you see another player there, Freddie Klingon. He's in a unique position here because he has, he's 58 overall. He's 22 years of age. His highest, at least on that website I've seen for potential, is somewhere around 70. But the way how he's pacing right now when it comes to his potential, he could probably overshoot that. And there's a couple players that are in that position right now. Like I look at them like, wow, they could actually be better than what this site's saying they are. So that's been pretty helpful. That website, and I'll put the link down below for you guys to check that out. Because it also does a lot of Ultimate Team stuff too. There you guys can look up players for cards and stuff like that, what you're looking for a particular thing. Friends of mine, they've been playing FIFA for years, so they know about this site and they were telling me about it. And I like, okay, this is not bad. This kind of helps me out to kind of weed out the players that, like, okay, well, you're not that good, so we could go ahead and let you go. And especially some of these players I have that are coming up on contract. I'm at this point I'm not gonna release them. Just like, well, I might as well just stay on the team as long as possible, unless I really in a jam. I'm like, okay, released. You got like 2 months left. Okay, bye, see ya. But yeah, but like I said, worst case scenario, if we have to release them early, I'm willing to do that. But at the same time, I want to get some kind of value out of them. So if I can sell them, I'm going to sell them. There you see another 22-year-old. I think he has a pretty good ceiling too. He's got a mid 70s. I think he's like 75, 76. Lima, of course, they're one of the older guys there on the team. He is being looked at possibly being also moved somewhere down the line here, as he has a future that could be. He could definitely be. He has potential. He could actually is, by the looks of it, he could be playing above his potential. But he could, possibly be re-signed. But he'll probably have a minor importance to the team. His role may change. So yeah, we'll definitely look at that. Roma, the player that you've seen before, he could also, like I said, be. He could be re-signed too. To another contract as well. But like I said, some of these guys, they are going to be short of their potential. Some are going to be, there's maybe 2 or 3 of them that are going to be a little above their potential. And that's one of them is probably Nick, if I remember correctly. I think he's a little above his potential, or getting close to being to where his potential is. But he could be overall 1 or 2 points overall over his potential, which I can't remember exactly what it was. Again, possibly could be re-signed for a role, not necessarily an important role, but some kind of role that's playing some sporadic times, and just have that veteran presence. That guys that have had the experience of being here on the pitch. So, and that's why like I said, we're looking at all aspects of things, of changing things up, and like I said, doing rotation as much as we possibly can, and getting some of those younger guys from the youth academy called up to the senior team, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is just trying to really push for some of these certain guys to get moved and whatnot. And if not, then others will just not get re-signed. And I have a little short list of who the ones I don't want. Like if the season ended today, they wouldn't get. There's quite a few of them that would not get re-signed. But anything, things can change going down the line. Will possibly maybe not get re-signed. His overall is not very high. I think his highest, I looked on the website there, his highest potential is a 59 overall. He's at a 55. So, if he's one of those players, which, he's one of those players that, he probably, even if, like right now, I could, if I wanted to, which I'm not, but we could possibly let him go. But like I said, anything's possible. Anything can change because players could have a really cool breakout game, and that overall could definitely change over a course of time. So, but at the same time too, I kind of want to keep some of these players that are kind of iconic to the team that have been here since the beginning. And of course, like I said, this roster that I have. This is from the start of the current season we're in right now in IRL. And some of these are some of the cornerstone players that they have for Austin. So I kind of want to keep some of those around, and others not so much. But yeah, as you take a look here, just going through the list of the other players here. Ortiz, one of the other players that we had to go overseas to get some experience there. Like I said, a lot of the youth academy players that I wanted to go overseas, they got a chance now to go overseas. Sandoval, one of those young guys I'm really excited about having play because he has a really good potential for him. And I'm looking forward to getting him on the pitch and like I said, getting some playing time. And then you see just some of the others. Like I said, we got a lot of 17, 16-year-olds. Obviously, if you're 16, that's when you can start playing professionally. But the look of it is going to be, it looks, the future of this, if you take a look at our the potentials that we have, if those potentials stay, let's say they stay in lock right now, right where they're at right now, we have a good future for this particular squad here coming up. So, and that's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully they don't move too much. I want the potentials to, if anything, I want the potentials to go up than down. I don't want them to go down too much here. I want them to kind of stay on the high side of things. So yeah, like I said, we could have a really good, smoking football club, especially if we don't win it, if we don't get it this year, year 2, year 3, I would put money on year 3 for sure. That's when the good fortunes are going to start happening, good things are going to start rolling. But yeah, after that, 3, 4, 5 and beyond, as long as we keep producing some good talent and find that good, excellent talent out there. Oh, look out, MLS Western Conference, you're in trouble. This is a team that's going to be a runaway. This team's going to be murdering the original 96ers in the Western Conference there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I cannot wait to see how this goes, and especially like William Jacobs here, he has a pretty good potential. Not. You can tell right there, it's all right MLS wise, and that's the one I'm kind of on the fence here because he had pretty good numbers there, and then ever since this last training session, it's like I was really hoping that you was going to stick around, but again, if not, then we can easily let him go. Which I think honestly we'll probably end up letting him go. It sucks because he had some high potential, and then when he got into doing some training here as of late, it's just like, wow, you really got me. You really hooked me in. I bought into your hype and everything, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna probably have to let you go, buddy. So that's definitely one of the players that we'll have to get rid of, so we make room for some more spots on the youth academy squad there. Because like I said, I want a lot of these, and of course we got a lot of 15-year-olds there too. So that's what's taking up most of our our thing, and of course if a good year. I can let them on here, and if they're horrible, especially if they're going down, especially if they're really if they're not progressing and getting better, obviously, I'm sorry, you got to go. I don't care what your potential says. You're slowly developing. You're not developing it fast enough. So yeah, they probably will get they probably get the old heave ho at some point. And unfortunately, William Jacobs will probably be that first one that will probably. We've cut a couple others already. I think in the last episode I shown that we've cut a couple others there already. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I really had a lot of. I felt like this was going to be a player that's going to be really, earth-shattering somewhat. But as you see here, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just, we're going to go ahead and catch it, buddy. But we got a couple other players there. We got a couple. Let's see, Aguilera or not Aguilera there on the bottom there. He's a striker, and a couple others there. So yeah, like I said, we got some good guys that I think we might be ready to go. But of course, like I said, we got a lot of 15-year-olds there, so we can't get them on the senior team yet. So we have to keep them on there for at least for 1 year and see what they can do. Because I don't want to get rid of a 15-year-old and then turn around he's the next David Beckham or something. So gotta give some time here. Gotta give some leeway to those 15-year-olds. As you take a look here, some of the obviously the objectives there, we've met some of them. Some of them we're still working on, and some of them are long term. We got a couple of them are long term plans. It's going to take at least a season or two seasons or more to get to. But then we got some short term ones like youth academy development, stuff like that. So far it's working out. There you see, of course. Sell 2 players and then sign 3 important players to replace them. So far we've sold 1. We got to sell another one, and of course we're like I said, the transfer window is open, so we are looking at possibly trying to find 3 others that could be a huge importance for us. And I think for the most part it'll probably be on the defensive side of things. So like I said, there's gonna be a huge. I'm trying to do my best to do a huge cleaning house there when it comes to the backs positions there for this squad, because I want the defense to be top notch. For every good, they say defense wins championships. Well, that is true here in MLS. So we have to have a good defense. And in order to do that, we have to get that back line cleaned up. But that's it for this episode of Rooted in Austin. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys have any suggestions or any ideas to help me with the series, especially with the squad and whatnot, let me know down below. I will try my best to look at some players. You guys have some player suggestions that you guys can think of. That'd be awesome. I'll look, see if it makes any sense. Remember, we are in the MLS, so we can't bring in like Ronaldo or anything like that. We don't have cash like that, so you gotta keep that in mind. Kind of keep it somewhat realistic. But yeah, we are looking at some players, and like I said, we'll take our time, and hopefully we can bring some of those guys in, and some quality players in here to help us out. And like I said, I'm kind of looking at more of the defensive side of things, so keep that in mind. But that's it for this episode of Rooted in Austin. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And not to mention, go over to our Twitch, I should say, and check us out on Twitch. We do live stream over there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 10 p.m. till midnight, and then also on Friday afternoons at 1 p.m. Central Time. All times are at Central, so adjust accordingly. And hopefully you guys be there. Always fun over there, chilled vibe, and just having fun. Play a little bit of everything. Play, obviously sports games, but we also play a little Grand Theft Auto and whatever else is everybody else is playing out there. So kind of just a chilled stream over there. But that's it for me, you guys. As always, keep yourselves really healthy, and I will see you guys next time.